right, 5th grade. This is lesson 6.9. This is the last lesson in chapter 6. Woohoo! Alright, so today we are doing problem solving with division. So these are our word problems. This is the one where we understand what we need to know. This is the one where we make a plan before we solve so that we get all of the information that we need to from our word problems. Alright, so let's look at our Explore and Grow together. So first it wants us to make a plan to solve the problem. So we'll do that together. So here's our problem. A mother giraffe weighs 11 times as much as a baby, as a newborn giraffe. The combined weight of the giraffes is 1,800 pounds. What is the weight of each giraffe? Okay, so it wants us to make a plan and then solve in this step. So first, let's make our plan. Let's understand what we know. A mother giraffe weighs 11 times, listen to that word, as much as a newborn giraffe. So the mom, we're going to put an M for mom, is 11 times as much as the baby. 11 times B. B for baby. Okay? So that's part of our plan. We take the mom, we know that the mom equals 11 of the baby. Okay? Then we know that mom plus baby equals 1,800. Okay, so now this may look a little odd, but this is our plan. Okay? We're going to solve using this information. Okay? Now this is a little bit different than what we've done before. This is looking a little more like if you ever watch the 8th graders do their math up on the board. But we'll get through it, okay? So here's our plan. So write this down here. So M for mom equals 11 times B, 11 of the baby. And mom plus baby equals 1,800. That is our plan. Now we're going to solve our plan. Okay, so we're going to substitute in our addition problem. Because we know that mom equals 11 of baby. Okay, so we're going to, instead of putting M here, we're going to put 11 of baby. Plus baby equals 1,800. So 11 of baby plus one more baby, well 11 plus 1 is 12. Okay, so 12 of baby equals 1,800. Now, this is really times, right? If the number is right next to the variable that we don't know the letter, that means we're multiplying. So now we're going to divide. And we're going to divide by 12 on this side. And if we do it on this side of the equal sign, we have to do it on that side as well. So we're going to divide by 12 over here. So like I said, this may look very new to you, unless you've watched 8th grade do it up on the board before. Now we're going to divide, and I'm going to use my calculator. You're welcome to use a calculator. If I can get my calculator open. There we go. Okay. So we're going to do 1,800. 1,800 divided by 12. So when we divide 12B, 12 of baby, by 12, we're left with baby. So baby equals 150. Okay, now we know that mom plus baby equals 1,800. Okay, so now we know that the baby is 150. So we can take, we know that 150 plus whatever mom is 1,800. So how do you find a missing add end? You subtract. So we're going to take 150 and subtract it from 100 or 1,800. Alright, let's subtract to find mom. So 0 minus 0 is 0. You cannot subtract 5 from 0, so we're going to come over here and take one of these. Okay, so now we have 10 minus 5 is 5. 7 minus 1 is 6. And 1 minus nothing is 1. So this is mom. So our plan is this part right here. Whoops. So make sure your plan is here. Then our answer, because it also asks what is the weight it wants us to solve. So the weight is, the baby weighs 150 pounds. Make sure you put that label. You can either write out pounds or the abbreviation for pounds is LBS. But make sure you label it. So baby equals 150 pounds. Mom equals 1,650 pounds. Okay? So make sure you have your plan. For this one, since we did it together, you don't have to write out all of the solving unless it helps you get it into your brain. But so you need your plan for sure, and then you need your answers, which are the baby's weight and the mom's weight. Okay? How does your plan change? Making sense of the problem. How does your plan change if the combined weight of the giraffes is 1,750 pounds? Okay, so really the only thing that would change in my plan is that you can put 12B, because that part hasn't changed. The only part that's changed is the weight. So you would put 12B equals the new weight of 1,752. So this would be how my plan changes. This is all that would change, and then you would still divide by 12 to find baby, and then you would still subtract baby's weight from this new total to find the mom. Okay, so this is my new plan. 12B equals 1,752. Okay, let's look at some more. All right. So remember, these are the kind of questions that are saying, you know, first step, make a plan. Or first step, understand the problem, understand what you know and what you need to know. Second step, make a plan, and then third step, solve the plan. So let's look at our example. The length of an oil tanker is 15 times the length of a tugboat. The combined length of the boats is 304 meters. What is the length of each boat? So this is kind of like the giraffe problem we did on the first page. Okay, so what do we know? We know the length of the oil tanker is 15 times the length of the tugboat, and their combined length is 304 meters. What do we need to know? The length of each boat. Okay, make a plan. Their plan is to draw a diagram to help visualize the division problem that gives you the length of the tugboat. Then multiply the length of the tugboat by 15 to find the length of the oil tanker. Okay, so the tugboat is 1 to the tanker's 15. 1 part for the length of the tugboat, 15 for the length of the oil tanker. Okay, then you're going to combine those answers. 1 and 15, right, is 16. So they've divided the length of the tugboat. They divide to find the length of the tugboat. So this is basically what we did in our giraffe problem. They just drew out a diagram. So the 1 plus the 15 gives us that 16. That's where that 16 came from. So they divide by 16, the 304. Okay, 16 can go into 30 one time without going over, because 16 times 2 is 32, which is bigger. Okay, so 1. 16 times 1 is 16. We subtract. Can't do 0 minus 6, so they borrowed 1, 2, that's 10 now. 10 minus 6 is 4. 2 minus 1 is 1. So you have 14, and then they brought down the 4. So this box is 144. I'm going to give it to you. 16 can go into 144 9 times. So up here you have 19. 16 times 9 is 144. 144 minus 144 is 0. So the length of the tugboat is 19. Then we're going to multiply the length of the tugboat by 15, right? Because it says the length of the tugboat times 15 to give you the length of the oil tanker. So 19 times 15. 5 times 9 is 45. So we have our 5. Bring up the 4. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 4 is 9. So this is 95. Then we start here with the 0. 1 goes into 9, or 1 times 9, sorry, is 9, and 1 times 1 is 1. So 95 plus 190. 5 plus 0 is 5. 9 plus 9 is 18. Carry our 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 285. So the tugboat is 19 meters long, and the oil tanker is 285 meters long. And then to check to see if your answer was right, you would add those two up, and if they equal 304, then you know you've got the right answer. Alright, so in your problems, numbers 2 and 3, look at what the instructions say. It says, understand the problem. What do you know? What do you need to find? You do not have to solve number 2 and 3. You are only telling me what you know from the problem and what you need to find. Numbers 4 and 5, understand the problem. Make a plan. How will you solve? Again, you don't have to solve, you just have to show me your plan. Number 6, you do need to solve. Okay? Let's look at our word problem here. We'll do this one together and then you can continue on with the rest. Okay. A chemist mixes 1,530 milliliters of a solution. The solution must be divided equally among 12 beakers. How much solution would be poured into each beaker? Okay, so we divide 12 into 1,530. Okay, so 12 cannot go into 1. 12 can go into 15 one time without going over, right? So 12. So in this box, a 12. Then we subtract. 15 minus 12. 5 minus 3 is, or 5 minus 2 is 3. 1 minus 1 is 0. Bring down our 3. Okay. So how many times can 12 go into 33? 12 times 1 is 12. 12 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. 12 times 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. 36 is too big. So the closest we can get without going over is 2. So 12 times 2 is 24. So 33 minus 24. So we're going to subtract. You cannot do 3 minus 4, so we have to take one from here. Turn that into a 2. That's a 13 now. 13 minus 4 is 9. 2 minus 2 is 0. Bring down our 0. Okay. 12 times what can get us to 90 or the closest without going over. So I know 3 is 36, so let's keep going. 12 times 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. 12 times 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. We're getting closer to 90. 12 times 6. 2 times 6 is 12. 6 times 1 is 1, plus 1 is 7. Getting closer. 12 times 7. If you already know your 12s, this makes it a whole lot easier. But we're just going to work it out here until we get to the closest we can get without being bigger than 90. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 plus 1 is 8. 84. That's pretty close. 12 times 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 plus 1 is 9. 96 is too big. So the closest we can get without going over is 7. Which you're like, oh, they already gave me that part. Okay. So, but you don't know what to put in this box unless you solve. So, 12 times 7 is 84. So 90 minus 84. Can't do 0 minus 4, so we're going to borrow 1. This is now 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. 8 minus 8 is 0. So we've come to the end. We have 6 left over. So we have 127, remainder 6. Now we need to interpret our answer of 127, remainder 6. The quotient is 127, so 127 milliliters of solution can be poured into each beaker. The remainder is 6. So there are 6 milliliters of solution left over. The leftover solution can be divided equally among the 12 beakers. How do we do that? The number of milliliters of leftover solution poured into each beaker can be written as a fraction. So, a fraction, when you have a remainder, is written as remainder over divisor. So the remainder, 6, over the divisor of 12, is 6/12, which can be reduced. We can make it smaller, right? 6 over 12, both of those you can divide by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And 3 and 6 you can both divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 1/2. So 127 and 1/2 milliliters should be poured into each beaker. Okay? So for these problems here, this one right here, you are going to turn your remainder into a fraction, okay, for number 7. So remember that it's the remainder over the divisor, so 6 over 12 would be your fraction. And then if it can reduce, if you can divide the numbers by each other, then reduce it. Or if you can divide it by a common number. So for these, you're going to solve, okay? This one wants you to write a word problem involving division, where the remainder can be written as a fraction. So you need a remainder in your word problem. So you need something left over. Okay? If you have any questions, please, please, please let me know. Okay? We're getting into some tricky stuff, some stuff that we haven't done before. So if you need help, let me know, please. Okay? I'm happy to help. That's why I'm here. But that's it for lesson 6.9. This is the last lesson in the chapter before you get into the chapter review. So I hope that this video helps, and as always, please let me know if you need help, okay? I will see you later. Bye.